Hello and welcome back. This is Joni with You're the Artist Studio, and we're going to paint our spring bee today. So it's a pretty simple palette. It's white, black, green, yellow, pink, and blue. And if I need anything else, I'll definitely let you know. And we're going to start. Normally I tend to start from the top down, but this time we're going to start at the bottom down. And I'm going to start off with my larger brush and the dark blue. And we're just going to kind of brush that in there. This is a very abstract like painting. And I'm going to try not to paint over the flowers and stuff that are pre-drawn that I put on the canvas. We're just going to always go in an upward motion. This is a fun painting. It's very loose. It's a free painting, I call it. I'm just gonna kind of get that bottom. Not worried about painting over the flower stem itself. Just get some coverage down here. And you can use the smaller brush. I'm using the 1-inch flat if you want to use the smaller brush because you've a lot of going around stuff. That's fine too. So we don't only want the blue, the dark blue at the very bottom, and we're going to start introducing some white. I'm just dipping my brush in some white. And one of the things that makes this painting awesome, I think, is that it looks like it's really flowing. And so brush strokes are encouraged. So don't worry about like, oh, I can see my brush strokes. Don't worry about it. Let your brush strokes show. Just kind of want to just be in a upward motion. And I'm going to use the same blue throughout so that it's consistent. Like I could pull a light blue and put it on there, but it won't be the same shade of blue, and so then it might look a little disconcerting or not as cohesive anyway. And I'm not worried about painting a little bit over the flowers. As you can see, I'm going in the lines a little bit here. It's okay, because when those flowers dry, you will just paint over that. And so because we're going around the flowers and the bee and all that, it's going to take a little bit longer to do the background. So now what I'm going to do is start mixing a light blue with the blue and the white on the palette. I'm just going to kind of make it lighter and lighter as we go up. Oh, I had a feeling. I normally don't paint in the daytime because the dogs bark whenever a truck drives by or a leaf flies by too loudly or something, or a bee buzzes by. My dogs are very reactive. They've been good all day, so I thought I'd give it a shot. And hopefully that's the worst of it. I've painted over my bee legs because I know I'll be able to see them through the paint. At least I'm certainly hoping so. Regardless, I'll be able to find them. And I'm just trying to make it lighter up top. Or not. Like I said, the brush strokes are add to the painting on this because it's a very abstract kind of background. I may take some straight white and add some of that in there and just kind of blend it in. It's like the sunbeams are coming down. Get this a little better. And just make sure your background is completely covered. And I think that looks pretty good. And just for kicks and giggles, this is what it looks like. I may blend in just a wee bit of just a generic light blue. Just here and there. Add some white to that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna mix a color called coral. And so what you need to do with that is you need to take some white and some pink, and it's important that you mix the white and pink first. Make a light pink, and then dip a little bit of yellow into that. I want to make more of it. I'm gonna need more anyway. And I'm gonna mix a little bit of an orange. So I'm gonna take pink and yellow and mix them together. I may add a little white to that. Now in the end, that bee will look yellow. I paint its little head yellow. Just a touch of coral to it. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. I actually mixed a tiny bit of yellow with that orange. And clean my brush off really good. And I'm going to come in and I'm actually going to paint the wings white. I'm going to get a good coating of white on there. And just get a good coating of white so it's all wet. And I'm going to dip my brush in this coral. Just add a little bit to the wings on the top and blend it in with that white. It just gives it a little bit of color. I'm going to take a little bit of light blue, just kind of blend it into the bottom a little bit. All right, and we will come to the black afterwards, but right now I'm going to mix a little bit more of that coral, the white and pink. A touch of yellow. We're going to start painting some of our flowers. Now, I've moved to the medium round brush when I started to be. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that. And these are tulips. They have this cool round curved. I'm going to do some of the orange, the darker color. And some in the coral. I'm going to kind of do the inside part a little darker. And because this is rather abstract, you can make these flowers any color you want. They don't have to be these colors. I'm going to add some pink to this. I'm going to add some yellow. And just have some fun blending some colors and doing some light and some dark, adding some pink or yellow. I can hear my dog still barking up a storm outside. Two of the three are outside. My one dog, Ginger, like a week and a half ago, just went blind. So I won't let her outside by herself. The other ones know how to handle themselves. Yeah, just be loose and have some fun with these. We'll tidy them all up at the end, so don't worry. Got one down here. And just have fun with them. I just chose these colors because they're kind of cohesive throughout the whole painting. And you can make them red and whatever color tulips tend to be, orange. I have some tulips that tend to bloom every spring in front of my carport, unless I mow them down before they have a chance to bloom. So I always try and remember that they're there. I'm just trying to clean up any spots here or there where I'm seeing canvas. And of course we can come in with some white and lighten up some areas. All right, and now we're going to paint some green. I'm going to mix kind of a green and white. Actually, I kind of prefer yellow and green to lighten it up. It's a little green, white, and yellow, actually. I'm going to switch to my little brush. Where's my little brush? Oh, here it is. Because I'm going to bring those stems down. And come in with the darker green. So if you add shadow to like one side, it automatically highlights the other. So it's not always necessary to add white. Come in here with the dark green. Then I'll take this light green. And you can come in two. It's just straight yellow. For leaves to highlight them. And just play around with your darks and your lights, your lighter greens, your just adding yellow to a light darker green will help to lighten it up. Again, this is kind of an abstract painting, so the brush strokes are what makes this painting have movement and flow. So I don't feel like I'm gonna have to erase all my brush strokes and make them invisible. You don't really. This is a heavily brushstroke painting. So we're gonna take this here, create it. We haven't painted this flower yet, but we'll go ahead and do the stem. Bring this one down into that. We're going to do the same with this. Let the dogs back in and giving them another chance. All right, so I'm gonna let this area dry before I do these flowers. So let us go into the black. We're gonna paint. Again, I'm using my smaller brush just so that I have a little bit more control. And just again, the theme of this painting is loose and flowy, and don't worry if your brush strokes aren't perfect. It's okay. Bees are fuzzy anyway. So if you go out the lines a little bit, it's okay. find the little leggies. And you can outline this. I'll just connect this. And we're going to make our little antennae. All right, so we'll let that dry some. Now these are little daisies. I'm going to kind of come in with white. I'm actually going to mix a little tiny bit of a very light yellow. I just want just a hint of yellow in these. And I'm going to take the brush and just pull it down. And I'm using a medium round brush. I'm just going to let the shape of the brush, as I pull it down, create the shape of the petal. And see how nicely, because we had painted the blues over that. And I'll probably come back over this with white to lighten it up a little bit. But now that the blue's dry, it covers up nicely. Clean my brush. And I'm going to come in with some pure white. So just a little bit of that yellow showing through. And then I'm just going to come in with white on this one here. And just pulling down and letting the brush stroke shape the petals. Come in with some white. Some yellow. Just put a little center in there. I may come in with just a wee bit of coral into the color of the flowers. see I got messy here and my whites have dripped all over the place. Just clean that little mess up. I'm still letting that black dry a little bit on the bee. And so what I'm going to do here is kind of come in with just some fun thin strokes of the darker blue. And I can mix a little lighter blue again, like we did before. It's probably dry on your palette now. And just kind of introduce some of that too, even down here. And try not to mess up my flowers. I'm going to clean off my medium brush really good. Well, actually, before I do that, I'm going to mix some more of that white and pink. And yellow to make that coral again. I'm going to kind of shape these flowers a little bit more. I think actually what I want to do is mix the pink and the yellow. Again, you can use any colors you want, however you want to do this, and make that darker orange. I forgot a stem. This is a good opportunity to fix any lines or anywhere it just looks like that just blends too much together. If you need to fix any of the pointy areas on top, like I said, you can go with dark pink, you can go to orange or coral. We have a flower down here. Forgot all about. When were you all going to tell me? Or it was leaves. It's a flower now. We'll come back in and touch that up after it dries a little bit. Let's see, where should that stem go? We'll just bring it down this way. bit of green in. There we go. Don't stress out about all that. Let's see. I have a little bit of coral left. I'm going to add a little bit of white to it. I'm going to kind of add it. A little too much on the black. Come back and make that look like a highlight. What do you want to add? Some white on the head. Now I'm just going to kind of add a little more interest into the sky. Still trying to go in those up and down, but also I'm gonna add Not too much. Yeah, it's a little bit of interest, like. I'll come back over where these flowers are dry. Bring that one forward again. Again, you want your brush strokes to show on this one. And, you know, feel free to add some coral or some yellow to the petals so they're not just white. And then what I'm going to do is add a little bit of, like, that orange color we mixed to the bottom. If you feel like you added too much, just come back in with some yellow. And come in with some weight on the edges of the wings. And if you need to, or you feel the need to, add more yellow to the bee. If you think he's too orangey, you can smooth it out with your finger. That. Add a little bit more yellow to him. And I'm going to just pick on a few little places where I can see the canvas. We don't want that. Go back over and see if there's any other highlights you want to add to. Like I might just a little highlight on the bottom, on the bum. And again, I just want it to look like the sky is opening up. I'm gonna come back in with a dry brush. No paint on this brush. Just kind of smooth it in. Take a wee bit of just play around with it. Or don't. Like, I probably should have just walked away and left it. But no. Can't leave well enough alone, right? You don't have to. I'm just, you know, meddling around. A tiny bit of the light pink. I mean, not the light pink, the light blue that I put on here. All right, there's our spring bee, and we'll be doing that on Tuesday, March 3rd at Tennessee Pizza Company. So looking forward to seeing you there. All right, well, thanks, and thank you for putting up with my dog's barking. I'm gonna probably piddle with this for a little bit longer, but it's really at this point just kind of like fixing some edges. like this, but it's essentially done. Yeah, just straightening a few edges here. But if you've been with me before, thank you so much for coming back. And if this is your first time, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, especially if you made it all the way through. And feel free to like and subscribe. And we'll see you again for the next one. All right? Happy spring, everybody. I'm looking forward to warmer weather. Y'all have a great day. Thank you. Bye.